all of this valuable real estate that I could be using. So I'm gonna go ahead and commandeer that. Hey everyone, so welcome to the Fiber for the People studio for right now. My name is Taylor and I am the owner and dyer of Fiber for the People yarn and the host of this YouTube channel here. I have decided that today I am going to just kind of start a casual vlog series. It's not all going to take place out here. It's going to be just a few different things, I guess, just a general vlog. Right now, the world is kind of up in the air about a lot of things with the coronavirus and the fact that we're in a state of pandemic, and that's crazy. My husband, he's a teacher, and all the schools have been closed here in Clark County, which is in Henderson and Las Vegas, and other outlying parts of the city in Nevada in the United States. And so he's home for 4 weeks at least, which is, I think, is great because I love having him home, but it's just crazy that it's come to this. What's kind of cool about this for me and selfishly is that I'm able to get a lot of work done because I have some extra help here. But that's not what this is about. Just, not just about working out here in the dye studio, but also just kind of, what we're doing during this time of being kind of, cozy at home. And so I thought I would put together just a little something and pop it up on the channel and share with you guys our goings on in these first few days of being home and socially distancing ourselves, I suppose, and hoping that perhaps in the physical, physically we are socially distancing, but it's interesting because I'm looking out on the street, so there's a main road that runs in front of our housing complex here, and I can see there's a running trail and like a walkway right out there, and there's lots of people out walking, which I really love to see because, yeah, social distancing is staying away from crowds and things like that, but getting out and walking and breathing in the fresh air and getting some exercise, it's so important all the time, but especially now when we're kind of cooped up in our houses otherwise. And so I really like to see that. So anyway, all that is to say is I thought maybe I would share with you kind of what we're doing around here. Yeah, hope you guys are well, hope you're cozy and staying in and using this as an opportunity to be around family and come together and just enjoy the company of the people that we love. And so reaching out to all of you guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Hopefully it's just a little something to, entertain you while you might be sitting on the couch being cozy or what have you. So yeah, so come along, join me. Today I have some dyeing that I need to do today. I have a shop update coming on Saturday, which would be at that point March 21st, and I'm going to be doing some dyeing for that tomorrow and in the coming days before the update, so I'll take you on that along with me for that. But today I'm doing some sweater quantity dyeing, and then I'm going to try and organize this area behind me here. I'll bring you over here for a second. So I have this area over here that has lots of different things going on, but it doesn't have a huge scheme in terms of organization. And so yeah, I want to take care of that today. Not sure how that's going to go, what I'm going to do. I mean, this is like what I do. I use my kids' Lego boxes for storage, but I just need to clean this up a little bit. So that is what I'm going to endeavor to do right now, and while I wait for my water to heat up. And so join me, won't you, as I do some organization. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So I just found this Sterilite like box that has drawers in it, and it's got stuff in it already. And so this, like when you're organizing in like your garage space or like a studio space or whatever, you kind of realize that these types of things, which were previously being used for like nothing important, become very valuable in terms of organizing your professional space. Like, I don't even know, red chalk, I'm assuming this is for like a chalk line. That's like the only thing that was in this drawer. And yeah, oh, and a chalk line. So this is my husband's. He probably didn't even know it was here, and he would probably like to have it on his tool bench area. So that can come out. And then what else is in here? Like, this is one of those things that you have on a lamp. You like put it on the lamp, the light bulb goes here. I mean, sure, it might be valuable to have, but when it's the only thing or one of like 3 things in the drawer, like no. It's like a light switch thing that like velcros onto something. I don't even know what we would have used that for. This thing that's a ring of some kind. I don't know what that is. Something that holds up part of your towel bar. I have one. Doesn't even match the ones we have. A baby safety like thing that keeps them from opening like cabinets. Right now we're not using that, so yes. And then we have like some shelf brackets, which those could come in handy, but like that was it. Everything I just showed you was all that was taking up all of this valuable real estate that I could be using. So I'm gonna go ahead and commandeer that from that half of the garage. I'll figure out another place for all of this stuff in front of me, but I really need this. So let's get sorting. So kind of a fun fact, you may or may not know this about me, but I used to be a 4th grade teacher, and then after I was a 4th grade teacher for 8 years, I taught what's called gifted and talented education, and these were part of my classroom organization. I just pulled off a sticker that said dominoes on it, or dice, or I don't know, but it was where I would keep like dice for the kids, and I'd have like different whatever stuff you keep in a classroom. But that was my life before I started dyeing yarn. I was an educator, but that's where I get a lot of these. There's more over there, so I've been eyeballing the others that I have over there, thinking about how I can redistribute. I don't want to say clutter, because I don't think it's clutter. We're not the type to keep unnecessary stuff, really. It's like a light switch thing that like velcros onto something. I don't even know what we would have used that for, but yeah, I'm definitely eyeballing some potential organizational real estate. I feel like I'm amid like chaos right now. My pans are getting to the point where I probably need to set this down and clean up and get to work. They're not hot enough yet, so I have some time. But I have stumbled across a stash of CDs that I've had for a long time. I'll share with you really quick what I have. Some of them are in not the greatest. The CDs themselves, the cases are not in good condition. But I have Jimmy Eat World. Hello, like early 2000s. I think this album came out in 2001. Yeah, 2001. This is the Bleed American album. Seriously, such an amazing album. I love Jimmy Eat World. I feel like they still have a relevant sound, even though I think that that's a completely stupid way to like validate music or to categorize music. But I mean, if we're talking music and like relevance, I think that they are still absolutely relevant. Love Jimmy Eat World. This Alison Krauss and Union Station live album is amazing. So I love Alison Krauss. I love bluegrass music. I love folk music. I love that like vibe of string instruments coming together and just like a party, you know, of music. And this, so I first heard this album when my husband and I were up in Poulsbo, Washington, visiting a really close family friend of mine, and we had just gotten together. We'd been together for a little while. We were engaged though, so we got engaged pretty quickly after we met, about 6 months after we met. he proposed, which is cool. Another story for another time, whatever. But we were with my family in Poulsbo, Washington. Anyway, he was having a kind of a music festival on his property, and beautiful piece of property right on the water, and just gorgeous. But while they were setting up for this festival, they were listening to this album, and you guys, it is so good. If you're into like folksy music, bluegrass sounding music, Alison Krauss and Union Station, the live album, it's so good. And it takes me back to that particular little gathering, because that was where we decided that was where we wanted to have our wedding. So Russ, who is our really good family friend who lived on this property and was hosting this music festival, it was like a giant jam session with a bunch of people coming to watch like friends play music together. He agreed to marry us, so he became like a oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the name, an officiant, I think that's what it's called, and he married us on that property like 4 years later, so really cool. Anyway, Alison Krauss and Union Station Live. This is an Imogen Heap album, so this was her second album, no, maybe her first album after she went solo. So she is a singer that was from the group Frou Frou, but anyway, she went solo, and this was her album art. You know, that's the thing that we don't get anymore with digital music is album art, and like the insert, the jacket or whatever. Like, I used to work at a record store, and like whenever we would get new shipments of music in, it was always exciting to see like the cover art, the booklet and all of that. That's kind of really cool. That's the thing about physical like copies of music that you just can't get with digital music. But anyway, this is her album Speak for Yourself, another really good one. I think this was 2004 when this came out. 2005, I was close. Love Imogen Heap, love Frou Frou. She has a Tiny Desk concert on the NPR YouTube channel that is so cool, and she goes through her whole like process for how she creates her music digitally using these really cool gloves that she has. Definitely check it out. Imogen Heap, Tiny Desk concert, NPR. Excellent album, excellent. One of her like early ones. Ooh, the original Mumford & Sons album. Hello. Not much more to say about that. It's so good. Oh, this was an album that Starbucks was selling back in 2008, and it's called Songs of the Siren. Irresistible voices, gifted women from around the globe are bringing passion and creativity to music in the 21st century. Here are the best of an emerging school of singers and songwriters who are electrifying pop, soul, and world music. Such a good album. I mean, the Feist, Lila Downs, who else is on here? Bebe, Maria de Barrios, oh so good. Sia is on this, Carla Bruni is on this, just some Bebel Gilberto. Oh, you guys, why am I not listening to this? Because I don't have a CD player. Jeez, this is so good, and I love how like intact this is, beautiful condition. Such a great album. I think I was actually trying to find a copy of this digitally somehow to get onto my playlist, but you can't find this anywhere digitally. You can try and find the individual songs, but that's even hard to do. If you can figure out, like if you can go on eBay and find like a physical copy of this album and then buy yourself a CD player if you don't have one, or just go jam out in your car, it's such a good album. What else do we have? The Seasonal Orchestra Christmas Jollies. This is from my sister-in-law, aka the Disco Christmas album I told you about. Hope you love it as much as we do. Just go with it. Thank you, Jessica. I have to listen to that. I don't think I've listened to it yet. Oh, okay. So my range of music interests ranges, it is a very large range, a wide range of musical interests. And so that's what describes how you can, you know, rationalize why I have Marty Robbins. This is an excellent album, Gunfighter Ballads and Trail Songs. Marty Robbins, so good. I don't care what kind of music you consider to be your favorite kind of music, everybody can appreciate this. Every single song tells a story. Listen to it with the intention of listening to the lyrics and listening to the story, because it's so good. Like the whole album. I have this digitally, and I'll come out here and I'll dye yarn and just listen to this over and over again, and it's so like good. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just really good music. Marty Robbins, Gunfighter Ballads and Trail Songs. The Essential Clash, again, don't really think I need to explain why I have this. This is an excellent album. Yeah, I know it's like a greatest hits, and like true music lovers don't buy greatest hits albums, but stop it right there, because this is actually a really good collection of The Essential Clash. No more needs to be said about that. The Cars. This is just like a burned CD. This is The Cars. It's got Good Times Roll, My Best Friend's Girl, Just What I Needed. I don't know, I'm not a huge Cars fan, but I don't know what album this would be, if these are songs from various albums or whatever, but there's some really good ones on here. Joshua Radin, I went through a phase where I was learning how to play the acoustic guitar, and Joshua Radin was like a really inspiring, this sounds so silly, but like I just loved his music and I wanted to find tabs online for playing his music because they were just so pretty. That's pretty much as far as my Joshua Radin, you know, understanding goes. This is a 2006 album called We Were Here. Really good acoustic music. I think he had a few songs on the show Scrubs, but yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, Frente. If there's anybody out there that is familiar with this album, leave me a comment below. This is so I had a friend in high school who listened to Frente and she introduced me to them. So like this sums up like my musical interests in like from middle school, early elementary school to not early elementary school, late elementary school through to high school. Like I loved this kind of music, like Frente, which was a little, you know, this album came out in 1994, so I was in 4th grade in 1994. So I mean, I was young and maybe didn't know a lot about this at the time, but when I did start listening to Frente in middle school and early high school, I loved it. But it was like Frente, Veruca Salt, Radiohead, Weezer, like those are, I don't know, I just a big range of music even for then. Again, like range. This is Kylie Minogue's, I want to say this is her first album. That's probably way wrong, but this is an excellent Kylie Minogue album. And then this was a really old used copy that's not in very good condition. I got this at Big B's record store here in town when they were still open, and really cool record store. But this was her album that came out after this album. 2 excellent Kylie Minogue albums. You guys, Kylie. That's all I've got right now. I mean, I think I have a whole, I have a whole CD book over here that they don't have the cases with some really interesting like music in there. But I just thought I'd share with you what I have that I just discovered while I organize all my stuff. So yeah, music recommendations, folks. If you've never heard of this, or maybe you have and you're like, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, go find digital copies of this stuff. There's some really good stuff in here. I need to get maybe like an old CD player and pop it out here so I can listen to some of these CDs. But anyway, okay, let's move on. We got some more organizing to do. So I just found this little, I don't know the name of what these are. We just call it a musical box, or music box, and I know that's not what it is. There's a name for this and I can't think of what it is, but it's one of these little music devices that has the tines on it, and you turn the handle and it makes music. We got this in Lyon, France, July of 2014. So we went to Barcelona to visit my brother in the summer of 2014, and I had just found out that I was pregnant with my first child. So I think I was still in my first trimester. I know I was still in my first trimester at the time because I wasn't feeling great all the time. And like finding food that I really wanted to eat was kind of challenging, but it was a really cool experience. And so we went to Lyon and visited there for a little while on our way to Paris, and we stopped at this little, there's lots of these little places that have and when you buy them, you just buy this mechanism right here, this wood piece my dad actually put on the back of it, and so that was easier to kind of hold and, you know, use. Anyway, I bought it because it plays the theme from the movie Amelie. And I don't know, there was something about that made me think like maybe this would be something cute to have in the baby's room. And so we got it, but it makes a really beautiful tune. So have a listen. So I've had some people ask me about this t-shirt that you see behind me on the wall over here. It kind of has like, I'm gonna turn this a little bit and see if I can get it to focus. Yeah, you can see it's kind of like an alien face smoking a cigarette. There's more to this t-shirt than just this really interesting face that likes to eyeball me while I work. Her name is Trudy, by the way. And like I said to a person who commented on Instagram, she's my resident eyeballer and keeps me on my toes. But I'm gonna go ahead and reposition this shirt so we can appreciate it for everything that it has to offer, because it's more than just this judgy face. So let's go ahead and see if I can't figure out a way to make it a little bit more visible.